Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Buck West, the new head football coach at Pinckney. How are you?
I'm doing great, Casey. Thank you so much for having me on.
I know, most people know you as, Pinckney alum, and you've had a pretty dedicated career on the field at Pinckney as well. You did see some action, walking on at Michigan and stuff like that, what But let's just talk about it. Going in, did you, when this job became open, what made you decide that maybe I want to do this? And did you ever think that you would be the head coach at Pinckney?
I'd say going through high school and college, I never really thought about being the head coach at Pinckney. But when I came back to football at Pinckney last season and the job opportunity came up, it was kind of something that I'd always talked about with my ex teammates in the recent years. Just when we talk about the progress of Pinckney football, and if I ever got the opportunity to come back and be the head football coach, I thought it was like a perfect fit and like the perfect timing.
Yeah. Obviously with Coach Carpenter brought you on last year and what was it like just kind of being back in the coaching field? Did you ever see yourself coaching at any level?
I I think after my time at Michigan, because I spent some time coaching, I definitely realized like how much I loved it and being around the boys. And so I think it's similar to what the previous question you had, that I think I just kind of fell into it, and I always just loved sports. So coaching was just another way for me to continue sports.
Yeah. So going into this, I know it's been a couple weeks since it was announced that you got the job. Obviously there's the challenge, and now the challenges for you are, putting a staff together and all that other stuff. I know there's how has that process been like? And I know are a number of people that were on the staff with Coach Carpenter. How's that process been going, trying to find people?
It's been pretty easy for me. I have a lot of the previous staff coming back, and I've added a new couple of Pinckney faces. So I think for I could have got the best. I think I have the best case scenario that I could have gotten with a program like Pinckney, acquiring a staff.
Yeah. Um, when you look at what this program has been able to do, especially last year, coming off a year, an 0-9 season the year before, and then, starting off slow and then really picking up steam, making the playoffs. What was last year like? Just what you guys were able to do in that second half of the year.
It was awesome just seeing how our team grew together. We always had the ideals when I was playing at Pinckney of family and brotherhood, and I think the boys really took on that type of community lifestyle, and it was cool to just keep growing even though you're going through adversity. And I plan to continue that with teams to come, and you know keep being that family and brotherhood of Pinckney football.
I know the teams that you played when you were in high school are a lot different than, of course, the teams that Pinckney plays now. Of course, back then you were playing, I think you were playing Howell, Heartland, Brighton, I think Milford and Grand Blanc, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Go back to when I was in high school and around that time. But now you're playing Chelsea, Tecumseh, and Adrian, and all those teams. What has it been like just getting used to, kind of like what Pinckney was before they joined what was then the KVC with the SEC, and now we're about I'd say about 7-8 years into it. But what has it been like getting used to playing those teams again?
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, obviously, because the timing worked out with me where I was used to us playing the bigger schools all the way from like middle school all the way till I graduated, and seeing these teams that are kind of in the historical schedules of Pinckney football, I think it's pretty cool to kind of go back to our early 2000s, 90s, tradition. And I'm excited to keep growing and building relationships with all the coaches in the SEC White, and just seeing what it's all about and living it with Pinckney's past being tied into it.
Absolutely. You look at, your family. I know your family's been in this area for a long time. What do they have to say about you taking the job?
They're really excited. We're all super close, and they're just really happy. They've kind of called me Coach Buck West, like they say Coach Eric Taylor on the Friday Night Lights TV series. So
Absolutely.
we like to joke around.
Absolutely. I'm sure past teammates, obviously former coaches. I know you told me earlier that, both Coach Galitas and Coach Beaton reached out to you. What was that like hearing from all those guys, hearing from everyone, teammates at Pinckney, teammates at Michigan? What was that like to hear from everybody when it was announced that you got the job?
That's really cool just seeing it come full circle. I don't like to be super self-serving, prideful, but it's fun to just be able to establish a relationship in a different capacity where it's head coach to head coach or head coach to assistant coach with all the guys that I was, listening to their orders and listening to their whistles at practice all the time.
Yeah. So I'm sure you've met with the kids. What has that been like? As I know you got a lot of them, and I mean you don't have to introduce yourself because everybody knows you because since you were on the staff last year. But what was that like to talk to the kids as the head coach, and what's them in their response to all the changes?
I think it's just a lot of excitement. I'm really excited, and they're all showing excitement. I've seen a pretty good buy-in with off-season lifts, and I can't wait to outreach to the incoming freshmen and the younger youth age groups, and just kind of build a good, strong community of family and excitement around football. I feel the energy, and I hope to continue it and just expand upon it
Well,
tenfold.
yeah, when you look at the numbers, how number of kids on the team and stuff like that. I know in past years that's not been the best, but what is in terms of outreach, how has that been going and getting more kids out? Because I know Pinckney's not the biggest school district, but what in terms of numbers and recruiting and stuff like that, trying to get kids to go play football, what has that been like now as you take the head coaching role?
In the early stages, I think right now our planning is going really well, and we got some things cooked up coming up, and I think it'll be really exciting, and the community will really take kindly to it. So I don't want to give too much away because
Absolutely.
of
Yeah. In terms of, going and reaching out to, the community businesses, obviously you still, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you still live in the area. But what has that been like from a community standpoint, reaching out to, different businesses and stuff like that in terms of like fundraising and all that other stuff? What has that been like to learn as a head
well,
coach?
well, it is interesting learning, and then seeing the new faces that come up from when I was they're parent related to kids that I went to school with. I luckily don't have to handle a whole lot of it. I don't have to take on the shoulder load of a lot of the fundraising. We have a great staff of people from our team moms and our athletic administration, like Courtney's Buchanan's great.
Yep.
So she says hi also.
Oh, yeah. Tell all those people in the athletic office hello. I also want to, we mentioned Courtney. Let's shout out another person of, Pinckney AD, Matt Seidel, of course, who I've known for a long time when he was at Olivet. What has that been like this is his first year at Pinckney. Obviously, I know he's from the areas, around the area as well. What has it been like to get to know him and stuff like that?
I think it's great. I enjoy working with Matt so far, and I think we share a lot of the same energy and a lot of the same philosophies with sports. And I'm really excited to keep growing and using him as a tool to build my knowledge as a young head coach and kind of make Pinckney what Pinckney should be. So
Absolutely. Next few months, what are some of the big things that you're kind of really looking for? I know the off-season program is in full swing, but what are the next few months going to look like? for this program and for you as a head coach. It's obviously some deadlines you have to meet and stuff like that. Everything before we get to the summer, and then of course in full swing when we get to August.
Yeah, obviously I'll have my things I got to do with logistics as a coach, and then workouts. I just plan to work well with the spring sports and make sure kids are getting in there, staying strong, being building athleticism and strength and endurance in the weight room. And then obviously our summer schedule will be a mixture of youth camps, 7-on-7 scrimmages, the works with preparing for a season.
Yeah, sounds good. And also, you're also the strength and conditioning, guy coach at Pinckney. What's that been like to take on? And yeah, because it's been
It's an unofficial thing right now, just because we're like the football team. We're really the only ones consistently in the weight room.
right.
Like not no everybody else uses the weight room too at night, but
Yeah,
I think it's been great to establish uh, good endurance and healthy instruction on proper lifting to make sure kids aren't getting hurt and injury prevention. And I plan to just keep staying in contact with all the spring sports and everybody, just and every winter sports too, about developing athletes to be stronger athletes, better athletes.
absolutely. All right. Well, Buck, thanks so much for taking the time and talking with us. Congrats on being the head coach at Pinckney, and we'll talk to you before the season starts.
Thank you so much, Casey. Go Pirates.